from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Report.
Good afternoon, and I'm forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this afternoon, continuing to look over all of the latest data that is coming into the Weather Center on our season's latest winter storm threat that looks to bring high impacts to the region as we head towards Sunday night. Sitting on Saturday afternoon, though, we are looking at generally pretty nice conditions. Temperatures today have been able to get up into the 50s, if not close to 60 under sunny skies. And this has been a welcome change given all of the rain we have seen with the warm temperatures this week. Today, we were able to get out and enjoy it. However, that's going to begin to change overnight as a system is going to track to our south and bring rain to the region. That rain will begin to transition to snow as we see a coastal storm develop and take over. That coastal storm will begin to draw colder air into the region and transition that rain over to snow. And that snow could be heavy east of I-95, especially along Delmarva into New Jersey on up towards New England, where that storm will be tracking the closest to bring those highest impacts. Snow and wind will be the big story as we head into Sunday night going into Monday morning. Let's begin to track this out, though, a little bit with the latest run of Cedar Point Federal Credit Union Future View. And what we can see is that it begins to have rain move into the region as early as the wake-up hours on Sunday. This could honestly start as early as midnight overnight. But as you're waking up on Sunday, rain is going to be widespread. Our model here shows that maybe you get some snow that can mix in northwest of I-95 early on. But keep in mind, temperatures tomorrow morning are going to be above freezing. We're looking at upper 30s to lower 40s, which means any snow that is able to fall is not going to stick initially. And it's going to be a lot of that rain and snow fighting back and forth early on. And our model shows that rain is going to be across the region, especially across southeastern areas throughout the day. It is not until we head closer towards lunchtime that we begin to see temperatures fall a little bit. But even still, we're a little bit too warm for a widespread snowfall. As that coastal storm begins to take over, though, we will see most areas, if not all areas, go over to snow. And that's roughly going to be about sunset Sunday night going into the overnight period. We're looking at snow to develop, and those dark purples there suggest we are looking at periods of heavy snow potentially. This is going to start as early as sunset on Sunday, again going through the night on Monday. You can see that played out here. Snow continues the heaviest out towards the east. As you're waking up on Monday, snow is still lingering, and it could linger as long and as late as lunchtime on Monday. The snow will gradually begin to break up as we head towards the lunch hour on Monday, going into Monday afternoon. However, snow showers cannot be ruled out throughout the day on Monday, which could add a little bit to the accumulation. Again, it's going to be areas that are the closest to this track that are able to see the highest snow totals. If this track were to shift either to the west or to the east, that would have big impacts. The further west the storm comes, the higher snow totals will also be pushed further to the west, potentially in areas like southern Maryland, northern Maryland, getting into central portions of Pennsylvania. If this storm were to trend to the east, we would see all of these totals move to the east, and this really becomes just a coastal event. That's why this storm has been so difficult to pin down and forecast here throughout the week. Nevertheless, we do have winter weather alerts in effect across the region. Areas in red are under a blizzard warning for Sunday night going into Monday. These would be areas such as the Delmarva Peninsula, much of the state of New Jersey, and these even extend into the New York City metro, getting into Boston, Mass, and New England. These are going to be areas that are likely to see double-digit snows, along with winds that could gust upwards of 50 miles per hour at times. Areas in pink are areas that are going to be looking at a winter storm warning. This would be zones such as the Northern Neck, and this then extends northward along the bay for St. Mary's and Calvert counties in southern Maryland, and Arundel County getting up towards the Baltimore metro area. Much of northern Maryland and south central Pennsylvania is in this as well. These pink areas will be the zones that are the most likely to see potentially upwards of half a foot of snow. Winds will also become an issue for this region as well, upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour, as you will still be close enough to the coast and to the eventual track to see those impacts. Further inland towards the DC metro area, down towards Charles County, the Fredericksburg area through northern Virginia, it's a winter weather advisory for lower totals and lower impacts. But I still think you're looking at least a couple inches of wind-driven snow Sunday night in that region. If we talk about the snowfall forecast, The highest numbers right now are centered on New Jersey going into New England. This is where a foot to a foot and a half of snow is likely. This is where blizzard conditions will be likely, especially after sunset on Sunday. Amounts will gradually and generally trend lower the further west you head. We're looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow across much of the Delmarva going into southeastern Pennsylvania. Localized amounts, though, up to 12 to 14 inches will certainly be possible in this purple shaded zone. 4 to 8 inches further west of there. So once you get west of the Chesapeake Bay, so we're looking southern Maryland, the DC metro area, up towards south central Pennsylvania, this is where I think you can get in on 4 to 8 inches of snow Sunday night with, again, about 2 to 5 inches west of there, which matches up pretty nicely with the winter weather advisory. If I take you back to Cedar Point Federal Credit Union future view, though, I do want to show you this. Let's get you, over here. Let's play this through a little bit. This would be a look at the forecast snow totals. And as we head towards, the lunch hour on Sunday, even getting into early Sunday afternoon, very little has actually accumulated. We can see that we have only accumulated maybe up to an inch, maybe up to 2 inches in some spots, but this snow is going to have a hard time accumulating thanks to that high sun angle for the month of February and the warm ground temperatures. Keep in mind, we've been in the 50s, if not close to 60 throughout the week, and the ground has a lot of moisture in it right now. It is going to take a little bit of time to be able to get snow to accumulate on top of that. That's why all of that snow future view was showing to be mixing in early on Sunday. It's not going to accumulate. But once we head towards sunset, you will see that that's when the snow really begins to pile up across the region. And by the time we head after midnight, getting into Monday morning, the snow is falling. And again, the heaviest is going to be to the east. But just to show you again, early when you wake up on Sunday, there is not going to be much in there. This is at 6 a.m. Very little, if anything, east of I-81 and maybe some mountain accumulation. So don't let the early lack of snowfall deceive you. Most of the snow will be falling overnight on Sunday. And I think that our impact forecast here really does demonstrate this story well and kind of brings everything back together. Rain will be moving in overnight tonight and will be continuing throughout the day on Sunday. There could be some snow that mixes in with that rain late morning Sunday going into Sunday afternoon, but I don't think we look at a true transition over to snow until sunset on Sunday. That limited accumulation will begin to pile up after sunset on Sunday, and the snow could be turning moderate Sunday night. Temperatures, as you see, hovering there in upper 30s to near 40 early on, and they will eventually get down below freezing once the sun goes down. I will be tracking this wind threat, though. Outages, scattered power outages will definitely be possible. This is going to be a heavy, wet snow, given that temperatures are going to be close to freezing. So any wind that you can see blow through the air with heavy wet snow falling could cause some power lines and for some trees to come down. And we could be looking at wind gusts upwards of 30 to 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour at times Sunday night going into Monday. And I would definitely expect widespread travel issues. I think those issues will be widespread for Monday. I would not expect anyone to be going to school on Monday, just given the issues that will be present and all the plowing that will need to happen. I don't really think this begins to end and wrap itself up until we head towards the lunch hour on Monday. So it really is about 6 p.m. Sunday to about 12 p.m. on Monday that we're going to be looking at the potential for snow impacts. You're going to want to stay tuned to JB Weather for the latest information. I will have continuous coverage and continuous updates on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the website. Anywhere you have social media, you can probably find JB Weather at JB_weather. In the meantime, though, I'm forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and please keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.